The moments that made the night and may shape the coming campaign.
Your party wants to go socialist medicine.
My party is
and
me.
Socialist
right
healthcare.
now, I am
and
the
they're going to dominate
Party.
you, Joe. You know that.
I am the Democratic Party right now. The platform of the
Not
Democratic
according to
Party.
Harris. Drug prices will be coming down 80 or 90%. You could have done it during your 47-year period in government, but you didn't do it. Nobody's done it.
I beat Bernie Sanders.
Not by much.
I beat him a whole hell of a lot. I'm here standing facing you, old buddy.
Pocahontas would have left 2 days early. You would have lost every primary.
All he knows how to
on
do
Super
is hurt.
Tuesday.
There is no manifesto, number
Please
one.
let him speak, Mr.
Number
President.
two.
You just lost the left. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. 47 years you've done nothing. He wants to shut down this country. And I want to keep it open. And we did a great thing by shutting it down. Wait a minute, Joe. Let me shut you down for a second, Joe, just for 1 second. He wants to shut down the country.
If everybody wore masks and social distance between now and January, we'd probably save up to 100,000 lives. It matters.
And they've also said the opposite. They've also said
no serious person said the opposite.
Well, look
serious.
at Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci said the opposite.
Hi, President Trump, you're holding large rallies with crowds packed together, thousands of people.
Outside.
Outside, yes, sir. Agreed. Vice President Biden, you are holding much smaller events with.
Because nobody will show up. China ate your lunch, Joe, and no wonder your son goes in and he takes out billions of dollars. Takes out billions of dollars to manage. He makes millions of dollars. And also, while we're at it, why is it, just out of curiosity, the mayor of Moscow's wife gave your son $3.5 million. We believe in law and order, but you don't. The top 10 cities and just about the top 40 cities are run by Democrats and in many cases radical left, and they've got you wrapped around their finger, Joe.
Look,
he has no law enforcement
support. That's not true.
Almost nothing.
Look.
Oh, really? Who do you have? Name one group that supports you. Name one group that came out and supported you. Go ahead. Think. We have time.
We don't have time to do anything.
No. And by the way, he made a couple of statements. The Green New Deal is $100 trillion.
That is not my plan.
That's
the Green New
you want to
Deal
rebuild every
is
building.
not my plan.
A raucous night, 2 more to go. But let's get some context, a little history here. Now, the first presidential debates were between Kennedy and Nixon in 1960. Now, that was a time of peace and prosperity when the differences between the parties were relatively mild. Johnson and Goldwater had heated differences, but they didn't debate. Nixon and Humphrey and Wallace had major differences, but they didn't debate. Nixon and McGovern had huge differences on all the issues, but they didn't debate either. Carter and Ford debated in 1976, but neither had very strong personalities or stage presence. Well, Reagan, of course, crushed Carter in 1980, and then he crushed Mondale in 1984. But after that, for over 3 decades, we had middle-of-the-road candidates who weren't all that far apart on most of the issues. And under these circumstances, it's not surprising that we grew accustomed to soporific debates. But the stakes in 2016 and the stakes in 2020, they're really, really big. Lots of money and lots of power and lots of freedom. It's all up for grabs. And both sides are extremely concerned about who's going to win. This isn't 1996. It's not even 2004 or 2012. We have monumental choices to make, and some folks are really going to lose a lot. Now, under the circumstances, the traditional model for presidential debates doesn't work very well. That's a model designed to tease out minor distinctions and quibble over small points. It's not really designed to handle that type of dramatic disagreements that we saw tonight and in our politics today. But what we need now is a model that gives the candidates more time to explain their views and to lay out for voters what's really at stake. Because like it or not, the voters have to choose, not us in the media, but you. Now, this isn't like 2000 when the stakes were just not all that big. Losing this election will really hurt, and will hurt for a very long time. Now, I think the more you let everyone have their say, even if they're angry and upset, the better off we'll all be. And I have to note this. I think Trump was very strong on several points that you're not going to hear elsewhere. Now, he reminded voters that Biden is going to shut down the economy next year, and that Biden to that had no good answer. When he says national strategy, that's what he means, masks and shutting down the country. Now, if anything, Biden seemed to agree that further lockdowns were necessary. Trump also raised the issue of Biden's family finances, and Biden never really responded to that either, not in any substantive way. Trump was good on the topic of unrest in Democratic cities, and Biden didn't have an answer on that question either, of whether he has any support. He was asked point blank, name one law enforcement organization supporting you. Crickets. Trump had a good answer on critical race theory, and Biden obviously doesn't know what's being taught in any of those seminars. Didn't seem to have a clue. And Trump had the better answer on the Supreme Court nomination and why, according to the Constitution, he's entitled to appoint another justice.